freedom. Yancin faɗi da kanka.
Ta Hamida talakawa da zo na ilimarwa a gare mu ya idan mutubuka ta warewa.
Rediyon mu freedom warakar talakawa, yancin nan ta kowa.
Dukkanin wata jimurda a ta zamo warware.
Freedom.
This is Freedom Global News.
Abuja, Kaduna train attack victims. Federal government and academic staff union of universities to settle out of court. Kano State House of Assembly passes 2022 Kano Metropolitan Transport Bill into law. And on the foreign scene, African Union invites Ethiopia's warring rivals for peace discussions.
This is Freedom Global News.
Good evening, you listen to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. I am Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Which is equivalent to the 9th of Rabiul Awwal 1444 after Hijri. And now the news. 3 remaining captives of the Kaduna train attack today. Staff Action Committee Usman Yusuf said the hostages were. He said that the committee took the custody of the victims who were kidnapped by Boko Haram the train in Kaduna on March 28, 2020. And train in Kaduna had before now released hostages in piecemeal, with the last release being on. The insurgents had blown up the rail track and bombed the moving train, killing some and abducting more than 60 passengers. The unprecedented attack had attracted international and national coverage. It could be recalled that suspended activities with President Muhammadu Buhari directing security agencies to rescue the victims after he met their families. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has asked the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, and the federal government in handling the impasse between both parties. The court took the decision today while hearing the appeal by ASU over the Industrial Court, which ordered the university lecturers to suspend their strike action. Lead counsel to ASU, Mr. Femi, head counsel to the federal government were all in court. ASU has been on strike since February 14th, and in August, the union declared a total and indefinite extension of its industrial action, noting that the government. The academics seek improved welfare, revitalization of public universities, and academic autonomy. It doesn't have the money to pay such an amount, which is equivalent to 1.1 trillion at Naira, citing low oil prices during the. This year's rainy season has caused flooding in some parts of Kano State and some parts in Jigawa State due to heavy rainfall. Due to the stagnation, flooding causes diseases such as cholera and malaria among. Takes a look at the effect of flooding on health and files in this report.
This year's heavy rainfall has caused floods in many states in the country. Here in Kano, floods have occurred in Warawa, Wudil, Baby, among others. The Jigawa State Bureau of Statistics has indicated that at least 50,000 houses have been destroyed by floods in the state, where cholera and malaria are some of the diseases caused by the floods. Infectious disease specialist at Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital said floods cause diseases such as vomiting, diarrhea, malaria, and some preventive measures can be taken.
In order not to build their houses in places that water will come down from levels that are higher at higher altitude to meet them. The activities of man, because some people throw their refuse into the drainage system, make the matter worse.
Dr. Abdullahi Isaac Mata, an officer of Kano Ministry of Health in charge of has set off a committee of experts to find ways to curb these diseases.
Steps were taken to minimize the impact or the effect. One of them is the setting of experts from different backgrounds within the Department of Public Health under the Ministry of Health to see how this expert will brainstorm and bring up solutions. And of course, activities taking place, including sensitization of the general public on cholera outbreaks, the effect of flooding, among other, protect themselves.
Dr. Salis Ma'azu is the Secretary General of Jigawa State Ministry of Health said. Jigawa Ministry of Health said that the ministry has appointed that may occur as a result of this flood.
But this time around, we make a new strategy. In the past, we used to go there and share it and people, and in the process, those who are not even affected will come and collect. But this time around, affected areas. So whenever we supply any item or any commodity or any drug, collaborating with the local government chairman, collect on behalf of that community, and that committee, the health committee in that local government, don't out that local government. That's why this strategy was developed. Wherever we take the drugs and consumable supply, we give it to the chairman.
Thousands of people have been affected by this year's flooding by being displaced and Fatima Muhammad Adamu, Freedom Radio.
Another sporting arena, Kano Pillars volleyball team defeated Caliphate of Sokoto 3-0 win on their first match of the ongoing National Sports Festival Northwest Zonal Elimination at Ahmadu Bello Indoor Hall Stadium. Those of this and other sports updates.
Handball event, Kano Pillars handball team beat Kaduna 30-15, while Sokoto defeated Kebbi 25-14. In another development, good outing in their first match by defeating Kebbi State 65-24 points. Speaking to newsmen shortly after the match, Kano Pillars basketball coach up young talented players for the team and asked them to avoid the habit of underrating players in any match. Also known as Jamba Jamba, says he's hoping to have more players who will do even better in Kano. Flamingos lost 3-1 to Fenerbahce ladies in their friendly game ahead of the 2022 FIFA Under-17 World Cup scheduled to hold in India. Galatasaray ladies by the same scoreline. However, Fenerbahce proved to be impregnable for the coach Bonkole Olokere. Update: President of the Confederation of African Football, Dr. Patrice Matsope, believes an African country can win the FIFA World Cup in the future. Africa is yet to win the biggest trophy. At a press conference in Algeria over the weekend, the South African businessman believes an African team has the potential. Ghana, Teranga Lions of Senegal, Atlas Lions of Morocco, Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, and the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia will be representing Africa at Qatar 2022. Similarly, Ukraine has joined Spain and Portugal bids to host the 2030 FIFA World Cup. Representatives of the Association confirmed their plans today at UEFA's headquarters. Mohammed Sanoba, Freedom Radio.
The global news is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com, IG.com, or call us through this number 082 444163. Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. The Kano State House of Assembly has passed the Kano Metropolitan Area Transport Authority Bill 20. Third reading of the bill during today's plenary session, presided over by the Speaker, Engineer Hamisu Ibrahichi.
The House agree with third reading. By this, agreement for allowed to provide for the establishment of Kano Metropolitan Area Transport Authority and for other matters contained there is hereby passed.
Speaking to newsmen, the majority leader of the House, Al-Haji Nabarang Abdul Madari, said that the law was ruled in regards to Kano Metropolitan. The House has also confirmed the appointment of Malam Usman Waziri Kiru as permanent member 1 of the Kano State Pension Fund Trustee. The resolution of the House Standing Committee on Pension. Speaking to State House correspondents, the Deputy Speaker of the State Parliament, also a member representing Kiru constituency, Al-Haji Kabiru Hassan Dashi.
I will start by thanking Almighty Allah for give us this opportunity in my local government. Alhaji Usman Waziri is a seasonal civil servant, tight, and he held the position of DPM in various local government, and I'm sure he's equal to the task. I also thank His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, serve as commissioner, and I thank the entire member of this assembly for approving Alhaji Usman Waziri.
Correspondent Awal Hassan Fagir reports that the House also in this session adopted the report of its joint committee on higher education and health in relation to the Muhammad Abdullahi. And on business, we have Abdurrahman Adu Baba with updates.
The World Bank has lowered its economic growth forecast for Nigeria in 2023 to 3.2% from 3.3%, citing slowdown in global demand from China for commodities product in Africa. Citing similar condition, the World Bank also projected that the sub-Saharan African region will record a lower economic growth of 3.3% in 2022 from 4.1% recorded in 2021. Consequently, the World Bank called on the governments in the sub-Saharan African region to urgently implement measures to restore macroeconomic stability and protect the poor in a context of slow growth and high inflation. Meanwhile, the Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kari, on Tuesday announced that the NNPC as a corporation grew its profit after tax and asset from 287 billion and 15.86 trillion in 2020 to 674 billion and 16.3 trillion in 2021 respectively. Kari, who disclosed this at a press conference in Abuja, said the 2021 profit was contained in the group audited financial statement of the oil firm for the year. He also said that all major trunk lines conveying crude oil to export terminals were currently shut down in order to avert further oil thefts in Niger Delta. Abdurrahman Adu Baba, Freedom Radio.
And on the foreign scene, the leader of Ethiopia's embattled Tigray region and the federal government have been invited to peace as part of a Pan-African effort to end one of the world's most overlooked wars. Muhammad Abdullahi reports.
According to a letter from the African Union Commission today, seen by the Associated Press, said the discussions will be facilitated by AU Special Envoy and former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo with the support of former Kenyan President active president. Pamzil Lambon Kuka, if Tigray People Liberation Front leader, Debretsion Gabriel Merkel, attend the proposed talks between the Tigray and Ethiopian sides. It will be the highest level effort yet to end the 2-year war that salvation. The Ethiopian government has accepted the invitation. National Security Advisor Ridwan Hussein said this in a separate statement that the government called it consistent with the Ethiopian government period positions that discussions be mediated by the AU and be held without conditions. A diplomat in Addis Ababa told the AU they were not authorized to speak publicly, that the African Union was still waiting for a response from the Tigray side. Muhammad Abba Abdullahi.
With this, we've come to the end of today's Global News. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Have a wonderful evening.